Hey everybody, it's Jay. In this video today I will be talking about binders and binding and my experience with that. I actually recorded another video the other night doing this about binders and stuff, and it was really good until I realized I actually forgot a very critical part to my whole binding story and everything, so I decided I'm just going to redo the whole video. So here we are. For those who do not know, a binder is a garment that a transmasculine person wears to flatten their chest, to give the appearance of a flatter chest in t-shirts and tank tops, undershirts, what have you, any sort of shirt. I've been binding for about, I'd say, close to 2 years, if not 2 years, close to 2 years. Binding actually was like one of the very first steps I took in my transition. You know, getting a binder and everything. I got a binder from Underworks. That was where I got my very first binder. I'd say maybe like 70% of binding for me has been, you know, good. I enjoy binding. You know, a lot of people would think that's kind of weird for me to say, but, you know, I do enjoy binding, and the feeling I get with wearing my binder. I just feel so much more confident. I feel like, you know, I look better how I want to in clothes, as opposed to if I had to wear a sports bra or something else or any of that nature. So yeah, my first binder was an Underworks binder, and, you know, that was great. I had that binder for a really long time, even still when I started testosterone. I had the same binder. What I was not expecting to happen was how quickly I grew. I grew pretty fast and, you know, gained a lot of weight. And by the time I was about 3 to 4 months on T, I'd just totally overgrown my binder. But because of my financial situation, you know, I wasn't really in a place to get a new binder, and I was, you know, I had wanted a new binder for a long time. That was the plan. But I just didn't realize how quickly I would need one. And so I would still wear my Underworks binder, you know, fully well knowing that, you know, it was too small for me now. And I didn't realize it, but, you know, later on, after wearing it for at least, you know, an extra 2 months, 3 months longer than I probably should have, I started getting, you know, numbness in my shoulder and in my left shoulder, and then numbing pain, and like sometimes, you know, searing, like sharp pains in my shoulder, which have gotten better over time. I eventually did end up getting, you know, a bigger binder. Like Christmas came along, I ended up getting a bigger size. And can you believe I went from a extra small to a large? Can you believe that? I grew pretty fast. So, yeah, the pain, and some days it got really bad, you know. There wasn't much I could do about it, like massaging it, putting pressure on it, you know, sitting up and stuff, like, didn't really work. And I'm probably convinced that at this point I've maybe made some sort of permanent nerve damage in my left shoulder because I wore a binder that was too small for me. But, you know, these days it's getting a lot better. I mean, I've had this binder now for like at least almost 5 or 6 months now. So there hasn't been, you know, any... it's not too small for me, it fits me perfectly, so it's not killing my shoulders in the way that the smaller binder was. But yeah, I definitely have, you know, some residual pain left over from that injury, because I'm pretty sure I have a pinched nerve in my shoulder. And it is better though, it is better. It definitely is better. It got better, but only in the last little while. Like up until then, it hurt like a bitch. Even to stand straight, you know, for a really long time. The nerves in my left shoulder just were hurting so much. So I remind anybody who binds to please, please, please be very careful. Do not bind for over 8 hours a day. You know, make sure you have the proper, you know, I can't stress this enough. get the proper sizing of binder, or else you can risk injury. And I know this firsthand because, you know, I'm living with a shoulder injury now due to binding. And yeah, just, you know, make sure you can breathe in it. Make sure you can breathe in it. Because if you can't breathe in your binder, then it's not the one for you. So, yeah, just be very careful and do not bind with ace bandages or anything of that matter. Stick to, you know, actual binders made by, you know, brands who make binders. I'd suggest either Underworks or GC2B. Those are the two, you know, trusted brands out there. Those are the two main brands. So I would definitely go for one of those if you can afford it. But yeah, you know, be very careful because you can seriously hurt yourself from binding. And yeah, it sucks. I mean, I'm feeling a lot better these days, especially since I have a binder now that actually fits me. And it's a GC2B binder, which, by the way, is super, super comfortable. About like 10 times more comfortable than an Underworks binder. I don't know what the difference is in the fabric, I guess. But yeah, just, you know, be safe. Alright, so moving on from that, I am now wearing a GC2B binder, and I've got to say, I think I honestly like it more than Underworks, just because of the comfort, and that's pretty much it, to be honest. I find my GC2B one is a lot easier to breathe in, and it just feels a lot more comfortable. I think the downside to the GC2Bs are that they don't last as long as Underworks binders. I've heard that from a lot of people, and even when I first got my GC2B, it kind of looked a bit sketchy because there were like, you know, loose strings all over the place that I had to cut and stuff, and I didn't get that with my Underworks binder. My Underworks binder just came perfectly. So yeah, that's definitely one thing. And another thing is, like I said, the texture. An Underworks binder is a lot more rougher than a GC2B. GC2B is soft, so that's another thing. In terms of flatness, I felt that the flatness looked better actually on an Underworks binder than it does on my GC2B binder. I don't know why that is, but yeah, the more uniform flatness, you know, it looked better on an Underworks binder than it did on my GC2B binder. And as well as the cut. The cut for the binder, I think I like the Underworks one more than I like the GC2B one. But I still would pick, you know, GC2B over Underworks any day these days because of the comfort and just the breathability. I can actually breathe, I can move, and it feels comfortable. It's not scratchy. And those three things, you know, those three reasons win me over, and I'd probably end up getting GC2Bs for the rest of my life, or the rest of my binding life anyway. Not totally sure if I'm going to get top surgery, not totally, you know, I'm just not sure if I will or if I won't. So who knows how long I'll be binding, but yeah. So as I was saying, I would definitely recommend GC2B binders over Underworks binders, but that's just my opinion. So I encourage you, if you have the money, if you can, to just get both brands and try them out and really feel out which one you like, because, you know, I feel like each brand has their own strengths and weaknesses. So I feel like it's something personal to everybody. So yeah, if you have the chance, try both out. Then you'll really know, you know, which fits you. Summer is coming up, and from what I remember last year, I actually didn't have very many problems with my binder in my clothes. Like I don't have memories of me overheating very much, or you know, like it being really uncomfortable in the summertime, because, you know, you hear that a lot, that it gets really uncomfortable, really hot. To wear binder in the summer. But I, like, thinking back on it now, like trying to remember, I don't think I had very many issues with my binder last year. But I was also, you know, like 60 pounds lighter, and a person who got really cold really easily, so it helped me feel warmer. But definitely with the temperature increase and my weight increase, my body type has kind of changed. So it may be a little different for me this summer. I may experience, overheating and kind of discomfort from binding in the summertime. But I have no idea. We'll have to just wait and see, right? Yeah, that's all I got about binders. Just always remember binder safety is very, very important. Do not ace bandage. Do not wear your binder for more than 8 hours a day, and make sure that you have the right size of binder that fits you to avoid injury. Feel out GC2B. I highly recommend getting either a GC2B or an Underworks binder, because I feel like those are the two leading brands in binders, and I would trust them the most. And they're the most common ones too, and they do the job. Stay safe, because binding can actually be something you can enjoy or tolerate, or if done correctly and done in moderation. Be safe, happy binding, and thank you for watching this video. I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.